first time in my life, I have not had a skill issue. The past, like, 2 hours of my life, I have been grinding away, and it's all been worth it because this is the 2024 Ford Mustang GT. I got it early. Right now in FH5, if you check the festival playlist, you can see we're actually not very close to unlocking either the Mustang or the Raptor R. Usually, when the developers add new cars to the game, they block them from the auction house, except they didn't for the Ford Mustang. If you search under Ford Mustang for the 2024, the majority of the time, you will not find anything. But I just spent the last 2 hours of my life sitting on this screen here, refreshing the auction house. You can see at the bottom, there are 2 owners.
Did you get the auction snipe on recording?
I had to go so try hard for it, you have no idea. I had to switch from Xbox to PC. I had to turn all my animations off. I had to get in a tiny little car. I had to plug my PC in to the internet directly, like hardwired, so everything would load faster. As it turns out, the developers have actually said if you buy a car off the auction house, it's essentially fair game. So although, yes, the Mustang isn't actually out just yet, since somebody else sold it and I was just lucky enough to buy it, I won't get banned. It's gonna be really awkward if the developers ban me. Today is the day we can jump in, try out the Mustang, customize it, and see what's here. We've got nearly 500 horsepower out of the big V8, 5-liter V8 in this thing. This should sound very similar, if not exactly the same as the old Mustang. It's like exactly the same engine, just got a different exhaust system, but we'll give it a go anyways. I have been wanting this car for so long. This wouldn't be an AR12 video without any fun facts about the 2024 S650 Mustang. This is essentially the new generation of Ford Mustang. They just changed in 2024. There's a couple of different versions out there now. This is kind of like the mid-range version. On the higher end of the range, they have the Dark Horse Mustang, which is basically Ford's new, like, flagship, like, branding that they're trying to sell Mustangs as now. This Mustang is the first Mustang that's built under Ford's new CEO, Jim Farley. Jim Farley is actually just a huge fan of, like, cars and racing cars. Jim Farley's whole goal with Mustang is to bring them back to what made them great from back in the day. Essentially, that's racing. There's actually more race car versions than there are road car versions of this. There is the Dark Horse Cup car, which is a sick racing league, which I would love to join at some point in the future. There's the GT4 and the GT3 Mustangs. And then there is also the GTD Mustang. The GTD is essentially a road car, but it's got 800 horsepower. It costs like 350 grand or something like that. And it's essentially a GT3 car for the road. It's absurd. Nowadays, the Camaro is dead. The Dodge Charger and Challenger V8 essentially dead. This is the final American muscle car, and I love it. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are a little bit disappointed with this Mustang, saying, oh, I wish they introduced, like, the Dark Horse instead. I wish they introduced the GTD instead. I agree with you completely. But I also have good news. This body kit is from this company called 777. I've never actually heard of them before. Essentially, this body kit turns the Mustang GT into a GTD. Look at that wide body. Look at the roll cage inside. Look at the front splitter. It's not exactly the GTD. There are some slight differences, like there's no canards on this one, for example. There are also rear wings. There's APR rear wing. There's the 777 rear wing straight off the GTD. Somebody will need to correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume the real life one is chassis mounted. Like, why don't I try to turn this thing into the GTD? I'm gonna make a homemade Mustang GTD. That's the engine from my Mustang. That's the 5.2 liter flat plane. We've also got the Dodge Viper V10, a 7.7 liter V12, and the big 7.2 liter V8. All of chat saying the GTD is the 5.2 liter. So the way they build all of that extra horsepower is by giving it more displacement and then giving it a fat supercharger and then tuning it to get to 800 horsepower. So let's do that. 800 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque. Obviously, we're staying rear-wheel drive. That looks great. Since the GTD is a road car, I assume it's on semi-slicks from the factory. Maybe let's make them maximum thickness because I don't want to die. We can get full-on race brakes because that's what the GTD is. We can slam it down with race suspension. We've also got drift suspension. We'll come back to that. Toss some anti-roll bars on. Wait. Wait, can we get a roll cage on a roll cage? Oh. We also need some weight reduction. I don't actually know how much a GTD weighs, but let's say 3,300. I'm not going to go full weight reduction just yet. 800 horsepower with a little bit of weight reduction. This is sick. It even had a locked paint job on the thing. Colors for the Mustang. Wait, are you really telling me there are no, like, why are there no racing stripes on this? Since I'm building the GTD, I need, like, the GTD color, which is, like, I think I want to go, like, a semi-gloss. Would it be out of pocket to say this is one of the best looking cars in FH5? Mustang G... What am I racing again? These are not the sort of cars I was expecting. I didn't really spend too much time tuning the car, so we're just gonna try to send it and, you know, hope for the best. 800 horsepower, though, working beautifully. I love how this Mustang has, like, the new heads-up display. I really put racing in the American All-Star class. And the game gave me a Focus RS and a Jeep Wrangler. Really not what I was expecting to race, if I'm honest. I was really expecting, like, you know, some old American race cars and muscle cars and NASCARs, not an off-roader. I was absurdly disappointed when a couple of years ago, Ford said, we are no longer making, like, regular cars. We are selling the Mustang, and we're selling SUVs and trucks and vans. That's it. The Mustang is the only car we're selling. At the time, I was so annoyed by that decision. But if this is the culmination of that decision, I am suddenly okay with that. As much as I love the Focus RS, the Fiesta ST, if you take all the money that they were spending on, like, the Taurus and the Focus and just throw it at the Mustang, you get this. And I'm okay with that. Before we go any further, I just want to see kind of what it can do fully upgraded. I think fully upgraded, this thing's actually going to be a lot of fun. At the same time, we could also take it to the drag strip and see what it can do there. Anyway, so let's see. I'm going to toss in the big 7.2 liter V8 with 1,000 horsepower. I'm going to also go all-wheel drive because King of Horizon. And some twin turbos, 1,700 horsepower. I'm more surprised that this isn't X-Class already. I guess I can go full weight reduction now. There we go. Minus another 400 pounds. Wait, I can upgrade the turbos even more. 1,900 horsepower. I can't believe that this is not X-Class.
Don't let Nick drive a GTD. He will bin it in a wall and have a skill issue.
No, I won't. I won't, Ford. I will not have a skill issue. Mustang GTD fully upgraded with anti-lag and all-wheel drive. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about for this car will be the sheer amount of understeer that I will inevitably get from it. But hopefully with the tuning that I've done, we can put the power down and actually pull, but the AI's too busy crashing into me. There we go. Now we can... It got air. It's not every day a Mustang goes flying through the air. I think the Mustang GTD is coming out this year or next year. Regardless, call me biased all you want. Mustang GTD car of the year. I have the front aero tuned to the max, like maximum downforce in the front, and it still picking up the front end. And it's got a 7.2 liter V8 in there. Anyways, I think after this, we might need to go back to the non-wide body version and just drive it around and see what it's like. Maybe we'll take that version off-roading. That could be quite fun as well. 1,900 horsepower does not play around like that, bro. See you later. It's such a nice car to drive. Like, considering that it does have 1,900 horsepower, you'd think it'd be a little bit scarier to drive, but that works well. Let's put a pause in our GTD right now. Let's make it not wide body, and let's try this thing drag racing real quick. I just want to see what times it can do. I don't really have the highest expectations, but anyways, I guess I should show off like the actual front bumper, the one that people can buy. Anyways, I've got my all-wheel drive. I've got my stupid horsepower. I can go and get some front aero on this. That's not bad, actually. All the usual aero is still there. I'm gonna go no rear wing, and then I just need some drag tires. Nice. Mustang, no longer GTD. I would expect, like, I would honestly expect a sub 7-second quarter mile with 1,900. I gotta fix my gears. I was not expecting to cross the line at 200 miles an hour. Final attempt, Mustang GT. A little bit of wheel spin off the line, but not terrible. 170 miles an hour nearly in third gear. Across the line at 2. You can go buy a hoodie now. There's a link down below. I'm gonna go off-roading instead. I apparently do not live my life a quarter mile at a time. Okay, all of chat wants S1 class. Fine. Should I diesel swap this for the memes? Wait. Diesel swapped GTD. All right. I'm going straight to jail. All-wheel drive diesel Mustang. It really is a GTD. It's the Mustang GT Diesel. Oh, my days. Get all the horsepower from the turbo. We've got 2,000 foot-pounds of torque. We're going to be able to pull a boat with a Mustang. The Mustang GT Diesel. I'm going to need to do mega short shifting to stay in the, I would say, power curve, but I guess it's more of a torque curve for this thing. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. This thing better be fast in the corners or I'm gonna lose. That's all you need to know. It's also extremely heavy. It's really good out of the corners. It's really not good in the corners. You can really feel the extra weight and it's not nice. It's not the worst thing I've ever driven. There have definitely been worse cars than this for off-roading. Try to find a gap somewhere, anywhere. Here we go. Up the inside with a little drift. Little switchback, perhaps. None of what I just said happened. Okay, try it again. And there we go. Second time's the charm. Back in the day, was there ever a diesel-powered Mustang? No, right? There's no way. I feel like there's some obscure thing from like the 70s or the 80s that I just don't know about. Chat says there's never been an official Mustang diesel. Well, maybe they should. Maybe they should make a GTD diesel. It's not as bad at off-roading as I was really expecting. We have one more thing we need to do. We are going drifting. Formula Drift Mustang. I mean, I could use the Formula Drift engine. You know what? I will. I'm gonna use the Formula Drift engine. We're gonna go rear-wheel drive. We're not gonna run any turbos or superchargers. I want it to be kind of legit. I'm gonna go like drift tires. I'm gonna do all of the proper things. Our drift suspension goes on. That fitment is sick. And we're good to go. 1,000 horsepower, 2,800 pounds. Hopefully this thing actually works. It is a little on the heavy side compared to some of the stuff we usually drift, but I think once we get used to it, like a couple corners in, we'll be able to get used to it and kind of just send it all the way down, you know? Mustang GTD go burr. Since this thing's rear-wheel drive, it's not going to be able to get, like, the most amount of score ever, but 1,000,000 points would be quite nice. If it was a little bit lighter, this would have been a lot nicer and a lot more nimble, but other than that, it's not terrible at all. Like, it works nice. Now that we've been driving this thing for a while, though, what do we think of the new Mustang? Do we like the new Mustang over the last one? Where would you rank this on all-time Mustang? I think there's a couple of 60s generations Mustangs that might be a little cooler than this. I think the new S650 is one of the best looking Mustangs that they've made in a little while. I don't think we're gonna get 1,000,000 points with the Mustang. I've only got 500 yards to go, and I need 75,000 points. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't have the space. 960, 970. Wait. No! We asked for the new Mustang, and the devs delivered.